Hello and welcome, friends. Today we have a story that could change the way you look at your spare change. Have you ever wondered if that penny you find in your pocket might be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, today we're diving into a very special coin, the 1988 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. If you've got one of these tucked away somewhere, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. So, stick around, and let's explore the fascinating history and potential value of this rare coin. You might just discover something incredible hidden in your change. First, let's take a look at the historical background of the 1988 no-mint mark penny. The United States Mint produces coins at several different facilities across the country. Most pennies are stamped with a mint mark, which indicates where the coin was made. In 1988, the U.S. Mint had three main minting locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia were marked with an P, but in 1988, something unusual happened. Some pennies were struck with no mint mark at all. Why is this important? Well, this mistake created a rare variation of the 1988 penny, where the coins made at the Philadelphia Mint were produced without any mint mark at all. The issue was likely a result of an oversight, and these no-mint mark pennies became an unexpected rarity, at first glance. These pennies might just look like any other, but they hold a special place in the world of coin collecting. Let's take a deeper dive into how you can identify one of these rare pennies. Now, let's talk about how you can identify a genuine 1988 no-mint mark penny. This is where things get interesting. The first thing to check is the year. Look for a penny that is dated 1988. Once you've confirmed the year, you'll want to closely inspect the reverse side of the coin, where the mint mark would usually appear. If you don't see the usual D for Denver or S for San Francisco, and there's no P for Philadelphia, you've got yourself a 1988 no-mint mark penny. Now, the next question is, how do you tell if it's a genuine coin and not just a counterfeit? Genuine 1988 no-mint mark pennies will be made of copper-plated zinc, weighing about 2.5 grams and having a diameter of 19 millimeters. They should have the distinct features of a Lincoln cent, including Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Union shield on the reverse. Let's go over the key details of the 1988 penny so you know exactly what to look for. Weight. A genuine 1988 penny weighs about 2.5 grams. If the weight is significantly different, it could be a sign of a fake coin. Material. Like all pennies from this era, it is made of copper-plated zinc, giving it that familiar look and feel. Mint mark. The crucial detail for the 1988 no-mint mark penny is that it lacks a mint mark. If you find a 1988 penny with a mint mark, it's not the rare one we're discussing. Errors. While most 1988 pennies were struck correctly, some rare error coins have surfaced over the years. For instance, you may find coins with double dies or misstrikes, which can increase their value. Remember, the absence of a mint mark on a 1988 penny is the defining characteristic of this rare variety. So, why is the 1988 no-mint mark penny so valuable? It all boils down to rarity. Even though these coins were struck in Philadelphia, many were made with the typical P mint mark, and only a small number were produced without any mint mark. Because of the error, these coins became incredibly rare, and coin collectors went wild trying to get their hands on one. Additionally, the 1988 no-mint mark penny is valuable because it is part of a collection that focuses on minting errors and unique varieties. Coins with mistakes or unusual characteristics are highly sought after in the world of numismatics, and this penny fits the bill perfectly. Now, let's talk about the value. Like any collectible coin, the value of the 1988 no-mint mark penny depends on its condition. Here's a breakdown: worn or circulated condition. A 1988 no-mint mark penny in circulated condition, meaning it has been used in everyday transactions, is typically worth about $1 to $5. Uncirculated condition. If you have a coin that looks brand new, with no wear or damage, it can be worth anywhere from $10 to $25. Certified coins. If the coin is graded and certified by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC, its value can increase significantly. A high-grade certified 1988 no-mint mark penny might be worth upwards of $50 to $100, or even more depending on its quality. For example, in recent auctions, certified high-grade versions of this rare penny have sold for hundreds of dollars. One example of a high-quality, certified 1988 no-mint mark penny fetched over $200 at an auction, showing just how much collectors are willing to pay for such a rare find. Let's look at some real-world examples. In 2018, a 1988 no-mint mark penny graded at MS65 by PCGS sold for $325 at a major auction. Similarly, in 2020, another MS65 example sold for over $400. These sales are proof that this penny, while small, can make a big impact on your wallet if you're lucky enough to find one in excellent condition. So, is it possible to get rich from finding a 1988 no-mint mark penny? Well, the answer depends on a few factors. While most of these coins are worth just a few dollars in circulated condition, if you have one in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, it could be worth far more. And if you happen to find one that is certified in a high grade, you could be sitting on a small treasure. The key takeaway here is that coin collecting can be a fun and rewarding hobby, and sometimes a lucky find can lead to a surprising payday. If you have any pennies from 1988 or any other years, take a moment to check them over carefully. You never know what you might find. So, if you've learned something new today and think you might have a 1988 no-mint mark penny in your collection, or perhaps in your pocket change, now is the time to take a closer look. Check your coins, and who knows, you could be holding on to a rare piece of American history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more great content about coin collecting and rare coins. We'll keep bringing you valuable information on how to spot hidden treasures in your change. Until next time, happy collecting. Have you ever wondered if there's a small piece of change sitting in your wallet or coin jar that could be worth a fortune? Today, we're diving deep into one particular penny that could make you a lot more money than you ever imagined, the 1978 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, this simple little coin might be sitting right under your nose without you even knowing its true worth. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and who knows, you might just have a rare treasure on your hands. Let's start with a little history. The 1978 D Abraham Lincoln penny is part of the series of pennies minted by the United States Mint since 1909. This specific coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 all the way up to 2008. The penny features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, on the obverse front side of the coin, while the reverse side displays the Lincoln Memorial, an iconic American landmark. In 1978, the United States Mint continued its tradition of striking pennies at 3 different mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The D mint mark on the 1978 penny indicates that it was produced in Denver, Colorado. But what makes this particular penny stand out among the millions produced that year? Well, it comes down to a few key factors. Now that we know a bit of history, let's talk about how to identify a genuine 1978 D penny, especially if you're looking for something special. The first thing to check is the mint mark itself. On the 1978 penny, the D mint mark can be found just beneath Lincoln's shoulder on the obverse side. While many 1978 pennies are common and not worth much beyond their face value of 1 cent, there are some key details that can make a specific penny valuable. First, let's talk about the coin's weight and material. Like all U.S. pennies minted after 1909, the 1978 D penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition gives it a distinctive weight of 3.11 grams. Next, let's talk about errors. Some 1978 D pennies have been found to have rare and valuable errors. These can include things like double strikes, off-center strikes, or even unusual die breaks. These errors can make a regular penny from 1978 incredibly rare and, in some cases, highly valuable. We'll get into more about the types of errors to look for in just a bit. Now, you may be wondering, why is the 1978 D penny rare or valuable? Let's break it down. While most 1978 D pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent, some of them are rare due to minting errors or unique characteristics. The main reason these pennies are valuable is because they are not often seen in pristine, uncirculated condition. Most pennies that were circulated in 1978 have been worn down over the years, making them much less valuable. But when a 1978 D penny is in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in circulation and still looks brand new, its value increases significantly. In addition, any errors that occurred during the minting process can make the coin even more sought after by collectors. A penny with a significant error can sell for much more than the typical face value, even if the coin is not in perfect condition. To help you identify whether your 1978 penny is one of the rare, valuable ones. Here are some key details to watch for. Weight and material. As mentioned, the coin should weigh 3.11 grams and be made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. If it doesn't, you may be dealing with a coin that's been altered or is a different year or mint condition. The more pristine the condition, the more valuable it is. If your penny is uncirculated or in mint condition, it's definitely worth more than 1 cent mint mark. Look for the D mint mark beneath Lincoln's shoulder. If it's missing or altered, it could indicate an error coin. Errors. The most valuable 1978 pennies are those with minting errors such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These types of errors are extremely rare and can drastically increase the value of the coin. Now, let's talk about the market value of the 1978 penny. The value of this penny can vary greatly depending on its condition. Let's break it down by condition. Worn or circulated condition. A penny in worn or circulated condition, meaning it has been used in everyday transactions and shows signs of wear. Typically has little to no value beyond its face value of 1 cent. Uncirculated condition. If your 1978 penny is in uncirculated condition, it could be worth anywhere from $2 to $5. While this is not a huge fortune, it's still several times more than its face value. Certified or high-grade condition. Pennies that are graded by professional coin grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. NGC can fetch significantly higher prices. An uncirculated 1978 penny graded in mint state MS65 or higher could be worth anywhere from $10 to $30 or more, depending on its quality. Error coins. If your 1978 penny has a noticeable minting error, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and severity of the error. For example, a double-struck 1978 penny could sell for $500 or more in certain cases. To give you an idea of what these coins are actually selling for, let's look at some real-world examples. A 1978 penny in uncirculated condition recently sold for $25 at a major auction. Meanwhile, a 1978 penny with a rare double-strike error fetched an impressive $1,500 at another auction. These examples prove that even small, seemingly ordinary coins can have a surprising amount of value if they are in the right condition or have the right error. So, what does this all mean for you? If you have a 1978 penny lying around, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Check for the mint mark, inspect its condition, and see if it has any unusual characteristics or errors. You never know, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Before you go, make sure to check your change and coin jars. If you find a 1978 penny in good condition, especially if it has any errors, you may have just found a rare treasure. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos about rare coins, valuable pennies, and everything you need to know about coin collecting. We're here to help you learn more about the fascinating world of numismatics, one penny at a time. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Hello and welcome. Imagine reaching into your pocket or checking through a coin jar and finding a penny that could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Sounds too good to be true. Well, today we're going to talk about a specific coin, the 1997 Abraham Lincoln penny, that could be hiding in your collection or even in your loose change, and it may just be worth a lot more than you think. In this video, we'll explore everything you need to know about this coin, from its fascinating history to how to identify a genuine version. If you're interested in coin collecting or simply want to learn more about potentially valuable pennies, then this video is for you. So, stay with us as we uncover the secrets behind the 1997 Abraham Lincoln penny and why it could be sitting in your change, waiting to make you a collector's dream. To truly appreciate the 1997 Abraham Lincoln penny, we first need to understand its history and why it was created in the first place. The Lincoln penny, also known as the 1-cent coin, was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It marked the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, and its obverse front features a portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse back has featured various designs over the years. Though the famous Lincoln Memorial design lasted until 2008. In 1997, the penny was still using the Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse, and it was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. The Denver Mint mark is what we're focusing on today, which means this coin comes from the Denver Mint as indicated by the D Mint mark on the coin's reverse side. Now, you might be wondering what makes the 1997 D penny stand out. And why is it important to coin collectors? Well, it's all about rarity and the condition in which the coin has been preserved. Some pennies, even from later years like 1997, have very rare characteristics that make them highly sought after in the world of coin collecting. Identifying a genuine 1997 D Abraham Lincoln penny isn't difficult, but there are some key details you need to look out for. Here's what to keep in mind. Mint mark. On the reverse side of the coin, beneath the Lincoln Memorial, you will see a small D. This indicates that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint. If there's no mint mark, then it was minted in Philadelphia. Design features. The obverse will have a clear portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right. The reverse will feature the Lincoln Memorial with E pluribus unum inscribed above and the phrase United States of America around the edges. Weight and size. The coin should weigh 2.5 grams and have a diameter of 19 millimeters. If the coin is either lighter or heavier, it may be a counterfeit or could have been damaged. Condition. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. A well-preserved coin that's free from wear and tear is much more valuable than one that's been heavily circulated. Now, let's get into the specifics of this coin: weight, material, mint marks, and possible errors. Weight and material. The 1997 D Lincoln penny, like other pennies of this era, is made from 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This composition is important to note because some rare pennies from earlier years were made from pure copper, and those are much more valuable today. Mint marks. As we discussed earlier, the mint mark on the 1997 penny is a crucial identifier. The D Mint mark stands for Denver, and while many 1997 pennies were minted there, the number of well-preserved ones can still be relatively low. Errors. Coin errors are often what drive up the value of certain pennies. Some examples of errors you might find in the 1997 D penny include off-center strikes, double die errors, or even missing mint marks. While these errors are rare, they are highly valuable if you happen to come across them. The 1997 D Abraham Lincoln penny might not be the first coin you think of when you hear about rare or valuable pennies. But here's why it can still catch the eye of serious collectors. The primary reason this coin could be valuable is due to its condition and rarity in certain states. Most of the pennies from 1997 are fairly common and can be found in everyday change. However, in certain circumstances, such as with coins that have unique errors or are in perfect uncirculated condition, this penny could command a higher price. Another factor that adds to its rarity is how coins from this time period were produced. The production of pennies in the 1990s wasn't as low as some earlier years, but finding them in perfect or near-perfect condition, especially without heavy wear or scratches, makes them stand out in the world of numismatics. So, how much could your 1997 D penny be worth? Let's take a look at its current market value in various conditions, worn or circulated. If the coin has been in circulation for some time and shows signs of wear, it is worth around 1 cent, essentially the face value, uncirculated. If the coin is in excellent condition with no signs of wear, it could be worth 10 to 20 cents or more. Certified or mint condition, coins that are professionally graded as being in mint condition, MS 65 or higher, can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to possibly much more, depending on the error or rarity associated with the coin. Rare errors. If your 1997 D penny has any sort of rare minting error, such as a double die or off-center strike, it could be worth significantly more. Some error coins have been known to sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions, depending on the rarity and collector demand. Let's take a look at some real examples. One 1997 D penny with a double die error sold for $500 at a recent auction. Another uncirculated coin with perfect details fetched $15 at a dealer's sale. Although these examples may vary, they give you an idea of just how much a rare or well-preserved 1997 D penny could be worth. In conclusion, while most 1997 D Abraham Lincoln pennies are worth only 1 cent, the condition and rarity of the coin can make it a hidden gem in your collection. If you happen to find one of these coins in exceptional condition, or better yet, one with a rare minting error, then you could be holding on to something very valuable. So don't just throw your spare change away. Check through your pennies carefully, and who knows, you could be the next lucky person to find a rare treasure worth much more than just 1 cent. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to check your change, you might just find a hidden treasure waiting for you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Have you ever stopped to look closely at the pennies in your pocket? Well, you might want to start paying attention. Imagine this, you're at the store, paying for your groceries, and you receive a coin that looks just like any other penny. But what if that ordinary-looking penny is worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Today, we're going to talk about a rare coin that could be sitting in your change right now, the 1985 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you might just be looking at your change in a whole new way. Before we dive into the details of this rare coin, let's first take a step back and understand why the 1985 no-mint mark penny is so special. Every year, the United States Mint produces billions of pennies, but not all of them are created equal. In 1985, something interesting happened with a batch of pennies that were struck without a mint mark. Now, the U.S. Mint produces coins at multiple locations across the country, and each location marks its coins with a small mint mark, either an S for San Francisco, a D for Denver, or P for Philadelphia. The 1985 penny, however, was intended to be produced with a mint mark, but a mistake was made. Some pennies were struck without any mint mark at all. These coins, made in Philadelphia, were supposed to have a D mint mark, but they didn't, which has led to their rarity. So why was this penny created? Well, the U.S. Mint produces coins for circulation, and each year's coinage is planned and designed in advance. The Abraham Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909, is one of the most well-known and frequently circulated coins in the country. By 1985, it had undergone some design changes, but the coin was still very much a staple of American currency. However, mistakes like this, a missing mint mark, can cause huge ripples in the world of coin collecting. Now that we know a bit about its history, let's talk about how you can identify a genuine 1985 no-mint mark penny. It's important to know what to look for if you think you have one of these hidden treasures. First, take a look at the year stamped on the coin. It should say 1985 on the front, where the date is usually located. That's your starting point. Then look at the reverse side, where you'll normally find the mint mark below the 1-cent inscription. If you don't see any mint mark, congratulations, you've got a potential rare coin on your hands. Next, let's talk about the weight and material. The 1985 penny, like most pennies from this era, is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs around 2.5 grams. If you have a scale, you can check that it matches the correct weight. If it's much lighter or heavier, it might not be a genuine penny, or it might have been altered. Now, let's go over some of the key details you'll want to keep in mind when evaluating your coin. Weight: the coin should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's lighter or heavier, there's a good chance it's been tampered with, or it may not be authentic. Material: this penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it that familiar reddish-brown color. If your coin looks off-color or has a strange sheen, it may be an altered piece. Mint marks: as we mentioned earlier, the most important feature of the 1985 no-mint mark penny is that it lacks any mint mark at all. In 1985, pennies were supposed to have a D mint mark if they were produced in Denver, but some were mistakenly produced without any mint mark in Philadelphia. Errors: look for any other signs of errors or irregularities in the coin's design. Sometimes, the lack of a mint mark might also coincide with other errors like double die strikes or misprints. So why is the 1985 no-mint mark penny so rare? The reason is simple: it was an error coin. Coin collectors highly value coins with errors because they are unusual and unique. The 1985 penny without a mint mark was a mistake, and mistakes like these are always sought after by collectors. Since the U.S. Mint didn't intentionally produce this coin in large numbers, it's not something you'll find just anywhere. Coins with minting errors are often much more valuable than their standard counterparts because of their rarity. The 1985 no-mint mark penny stands out for this reason, and that's why it can fetch impressive amounts in the right conditions. Now, let's talk money. How much is this rare penny actually worth? If the 1985 no-mint mark penny is in poor condition, worn down from years of circulation, it might be worth a few dollars, perhaps $5 to $10. But if you happen to find one that's in better condition, say, lightly circulated or uncirculated, it could be worth significantly more, possibly upwards of $50 or even more. A coin that's in pristine, uncirculated condition could be valued in the hundreds of dollars range. And if you have one that has been professionally certified by a coin grading service, it could fetch even higher prices depending on its grade. To give you an example, one of these pennies sold for nearly $1,000 at auction a few years ago. That's not pocket change. In fact, There are instances where collectors have paid high premiums for coins like this simply because they are so rare and sought after. Let me share a couple of examples with you of how much this coin has sold for at auction. In 2017, one 1985 no-mint mark penny in excellent condition was sold for $800 at a major auction house. Another one, in a near-perfect grade, fetched close to $1,200. These auction prices show just how much the demand is for this rare coin. If you're lucky enough to find one, it could be a life-changing discovery. So, what does all this mean for you? It means that if you're lucky enough to come across a 1985 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, you could have a small fortune in your hands. Of course, not every 1985 penny without a mint mark is worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, but some of them are, especially if they are in great condition. Take a moment to go through your spare change, your old pennies, and look closely at the dates and mint marks. If you spot a 1985 penny with no mint mark, you might just want to get it appraised. Remember, coin collecting is all about knowledge, patience, and sometimes a little bit of luck. So, check your change regularly, keep an eye out for rare coins, and who knows, you could be sitting on a gold mine. If you enjoyed learning about this rare penny and want to learn more about valuable coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We post new videos regularly about rare coins, their history, and how you can find treasures in your own pocket. And hey, before you go, take a look at your pennies, because you just might have a hidden gem waiting for you. Happy hunting! Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more insights into the fascinating world of coin collecting. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got an exciting topic that could turn your everyday pocket change into something far more valuable. You might have a rare coin sitting right under your nose, and it could make you quite a bit of money. We're talking about the 1989 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. It's a coin that you might not have given much thought to, but it's far rarer and more valuable than most people realize. So, whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, this coin could be the hidden gem you're looking for. Stick around, because in this video, we're going to dive into its fascinating history, how to spot an authentic one, and why this coin could be worth much more than its face value. Let's start with a little history about the 1989 no-mint mark penny. As many of you know, the United States Mint regularly produces coins at various facilities across the country. Typically, the mint mark on a coin tells us where it was produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in 1989, something strange happened. Some of the pennies produced at the Philadelphia Mint that year were released without a mint mark, which was highly unusual. The 1989 penny, like all pennies, features the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front. But in 1989, the coin's production at the Philadelphia Mint was standard. The issue came when some of these pennies did not receive their expected mint mark. Normally, the 1989 penny would have a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, but in this case, the Philadelphia Mint forgot or missed adding the mint mark altogether. This error made the coin extremely rare because the Philadelphia Mint was the only facility at the time that didn't put mint marks on their coins. So, a penny without a mint mark from 1989 stands out as a special and rare find. Now that we know the historical background, let's talk about how to identify a genuine 1989 no-mint mark penny. This is where things get interesting, because while there are other varieties of pennies with missing mint marks, the 1989 version is unique due to its production error. The first thing to look for is the absence of a mint mark. On a normal 1989 penny, you should see a mint mark either above the date or near the rim. If there's no mint mark, it could be a genuine 1989 no mint mark penny. It's important to remember that the design of the coin remains the same as any regular 1989 penny. You'll still see the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. The only difference is the missing mint mark. This is a key indicator that you might have a rare coin. You should also check for the coin's weight and material. A genuine 1989 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams and be made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This is the standard for pennies struck after 1982. If your coin doesn't meet these specifications, it could be a fake or a different year. Let's go over some key details that can help you identify this coin and understand its rarity. Weight, as mentioned earlier. A genuine 1989 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. Material, the coin should be composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, as this was the standard composition for pennies produced in 1989. Mint marks. The key feature of this coin is the lack of a mint mark. Normally, a penny from 1989 would have a D or S mint mark, but a true 1989 no mint mark penny will have nothing. Errors. Some 1989 no mint mark pennies may also have other minor minting errors, such as misstrikes or double dies, which could further increase their value. So why is this penny so valuable? Well, the main reason is its rarity. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint generally have a mint mark, but this particular year had some coins that were released without one, and only a small number of these error pennies exist today. Since they are rare, collectors highly value these coins, especially in good condition. A coin that is in great shape can fetch a significantly higher price. It's not every day that you come across a coin like this in your pocket change, so when it does happen, it's a moment of great excitement for coin collectors and enthusiasts. The value of a 1989 no mint mark penny can vary depending on its condition. Here's a breakdown of what you might expect. Worn or circulated condition. If the coin has been used in everyday transactions and shows signs of wear, it will likely be worth around $10 to $20. While that might not seem like much, it's still far more than the original 1-cent value. Uncirculated condition. If the coin looks almost brand new and hasn't been used in circulation, it could be worth anywhere from $50 to $100. Or even more. Coins in pristine condition are always worth more because they are harder to find. Certified condition. If your 1989 no mint mark penny is graded by a professional service and it's given a high grade, such as MS 65 or higher, its value can shoot up to $500 or more. Rare, certified coins in top condition can be highly sought after in the market. Let's look at some real examples of how much the 1989 no mint mark penny has sold for in auctions. In recent years, a 1989 no mint mark penny in mint condition sold for about $80 at a major coin auction. There was also an example of one that was graded as MS 67 and it fetched a remarkable $250 in a collector's auction. So, you can see that depending on the coin's condition and grading, the value can vary quite a bit. It's important to note that auctions can sometimes get you even better prices, especially if two collectors are competing for the same rare coin. The more desirable the coin, the higher the price it can fetch. Now, let's wrap things up. The 1989 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is rare and valuable, and it could be sitting in your pocket right now. If you find one, it could mean big money for you, especially if the coin is in good condition or if you're lucky enough to have one that's certified as a top-quality specimen. Coin collecting is a great hobby, but it's also a way to find hidden treasures right in your everyday change. So, I encourage you to take a close look at your pennies. You never know, you could find a 1989 no mint mark penny that might be worth more than you think. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and other interesting aspects of coin collecting, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to check your change, you might just get lucky. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a penny, and realizing it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, if you happen to find a 1967 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark, you could be holding one of the most sought-after and rare pennies in the world of coin collecting. But how can you tell if it's the real deal? And why is the seemingly ordinary coin so valuable? In this video, we'll dive into the fascinating history, key features, and potential fortune hidden in the 1967 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Stay with us to learn how you can spot this rare treasure in your change. Let's start with a bit of history. The Abraham Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, has been in circulation since 1909. It was introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design features Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, though this changed in 1959 to the memorial design that we are familiar with today. However, the 1967 penny is a bit different. The coin, which was minted as part of the ongoing series, was meant to have a mint mark indicating where it was produced. Normally, pennies have a mint mark like D for Denver or S for San Francisco placed right next to the date. But for some mysterious reason, a small number of 1967 pennies were released without a mint mark. This lack of a mint mark is what makes them so unique and valuable. It's a mistake, but one that collectors are eager to get their hands on. So how can you tell if you've found one of these rare coins? Here's a step-by-step guide to identifying a genuine 1967 no mint mark penny. First, look at the date on the penny. It should read 1967. Next, check the area right next to the date. Normally, you would expect to see a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But if there's no mint mark at all, you found a coin that could be worth much more than its face value. Inspect the overall condition of the coin. While this won't change whether the coin is a 1967 no mint mark, the condition can heavily affect its value. A penny that looks worn or heavily circulated might be worth less than one that has been well preserved. Let's go into more detail about the 1967 penny. Like most US pennies, it's made of copper and weighs about 2.5 grams. It has a diameter of 19 millimeters, which is standard for a penny. The coin's edge is smooth, without any ridges. Typically, pennies produced by the US Mint during this time would have a mint mark indicating where they were made, but remember, some of the 1967 pennies do not. This missing mint mark is considered an error, though some experts debate whether it was intentional or an oversight. Regardless of how it happened, this coin is rare, and collectors are always on the lookout for it. So why is the 1967 no mint mark penny so valuable? The answer lies in its rarity. As mentioned earlier, most 1967 pennies were minted with a mint mark, making those without one a rare anomaly. Since it wasn't intended by the US Mint, there weren't very many of these coins made, and fewer have survived the years in good condition. For collectors, that rarity is what drives up the value. Additionally, some believe that the missing mint mark could be part of a larger pattern of errors during the minting process, making it even more intriguing to numismatists. The value of a coin can depend on several factors such as its rarity, historical significance, and condition. This particular penny checks all those boxes, especially the rarity of a coin with no mint mark in 1967. While it may seem like a small mistake, it's a mistake that makes the coin a coveted item for collectors. The market value of the 1967 no mint mark penny can vary greatly depending on its condition. Here's a breakdown of what you might expect in different circumstances. Worn/circulated coins. If your 1967 penny is heavily worn, it will likely be worth closer to its face value, maybe just a little more due to the rarity. You might expect it to fetch somewhere around $10 to $20 at best. Uncirculated coins. A well-preserved, uncirculated 1967 no mint mark penny can be worth considerably more. You might see prices in the range of $50 to $100 for a coin in excellent condition. Certified coins. When a 1967 no mint mark penny is graded and certified by professional organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) or the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS), it can fetch an even higher price. Certified coins that grade well can sell for $500 or more, depending on their condition and market demand. Now let's talk about some real-life examples of how much these coins have sold for at auctions. One 1967 no mint mark penny, graded in pristine condition, was sold at an auction for nearly $1,000. While this may be an extreme case, it shows just how much these coins can be worth to the right buyer. Less pristine versions have also fetched impressive amounts, especially if they're certified by a professional grading service. For instance, in 2019, another example of this coin, graded as -55 Australian dollars, sold for $300. While these prices can fluctuate, they show that the 1967 no mint mark penny is a serious collector's item. So can you get rich or lucky by finding a 1967 no mint mark penny? It's certainly possible. If you happen to stumble across one in your spare change, especially if it's in good condition, you could be holding a small fortune. While not every 1967 penny without a mint mark will be worth thousands, it's still a rare and exciting find for anyone interested in coin collecting. And who knows? That little penny you have sitting in your drawer or jar could be worth much more than you think. If you're interested in learning more about rare coins, valuable pennies, or how to start your own coin collection, make sure to check your change and subscribe to our channel for more tips, tricks, and coin spotting advice. You never know what you might find. Take a moment today to check through your spare change. You might just find a 1967 no mint mark penny or another rare coin hiding among the others. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more videos on valuable coins and how you can get the most out of your coin collection. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Have you ever come across an old coin and wondered if it could be worth something? Maybe you have a few pennies sitting in your drawer and you're not sure if any of them could be worth more than just 1 cent. Well, there's one particular penny from 2005 that you'll want to pay close attention to. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2005 Abraham Lincoln penny with the unique mint mark. If you're someone who enjoys the thrill of collecting coins or just curious about your spare change, this could be the one to watch closely. First, let's take a step back and explore the historical background of the 2005 Abraham Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been around since 1909, honoring the 16th President of the United States. The coin has undergone several design changes throughout the years, but in 2005 it marked a special milestone, the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. To celebrate Lincoln's 200th birthday, the U.S. Mint decided to create a series of special design changes. For the first time in history, instead of the usual shield or the Lincoln Memorial, the coin featured a series of 4 different reverse designs, each representing a different part of Lincoln's life: his childhood log cabin, his formative years in Illinois, his presidency, and his legacy. This was an exciting and historic change, and it gave collectors something to really look forward to, but here's where the story gets interesting. As with any special release, certain versions of these coins ended up being more valuable than others, and that's where the 2005 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny comes into play. So, how do you know if you have a genuine 2005 Abraham Lincoln penny with a valuable mint mark? It's important to know exactly what you're looking for. The key thing to look out for is the mint mark, which tells you where the coin was struck. There are 3 primary mints that produce U.S. coins: Philadelphia, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The 2005 pennies come with either a D mint mark, indicating they were struck in Denver, or no mint mark at all, meaning they were struck in Philadelphia. But here's the twist: the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions of these coins, which are usually shiny and specially made for collectors. Now, if you're trying to figure out if your 2005 penny is rare or valuable, check if it's in excellent condition. Even the smallest imperfections can affect a coin's value, so you'll want to look for a penny that is well-preserved, shiny, and free from damage. Let's break down some key details about the 2005 Abraham Lincoln penny to help you identify it. The penny weighs 2.5 grams and is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. Over time, the copper coating can wear off, leaving the zinc core exposed, so you want to make sure that your penny still has its shiny copper look. Regarding the mint marks, as I mentioned earlier, it's important to know whether your penny comes from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The most common version, with the D mint mark from Denver, was the most widely produced. However, there were some mistakes made during production, and this is where things get really interesting. In fact, one of the most famous errors involves the 2005 penny with a D mint mark that was mistakenly struck without the D. These so-called no-D errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are extremely rare. If you happen to come across one of these error pennies, you've got something really special. You might be wondering, why is this particular penny so rare or valuable? Well, first off, the error versions of the 2005 penny are relatively few, making them highly sought after by collectors. But it's not just about the mistakes made during minting. The fact that it's part of a special series celebrating Abraham Lincoln's bicentennial means that many collectors are looking for these coins, particularly in pristine, uncirculated condition. The value of the 2005 penny can vary depending on several factors, including its condition, whether it has a mint mark or is a proof version, and whether there are any errors. A well-preserved penny from this series could be worth significantly more than face value, especially if it's one of the rarer error versions. So, what's the current market value of a 2005 Abraham Lincoln penny? The value can differ quite a bit depending on the coin's condition. A worn or circulated 2005 penny might still only be worth around 1 cent or a few cents, especially if it doesn't have any errors or unique features. An uncirculated version, which means it looks as good as the day it was minted, could be worth a few dollars depending on its condition and demand. A certified 2005 penny, particularly one with a rare mint mark or an error, can fetch a much higher price. These pennies could sell for tens or even hundreds of dollars at auction, depending on their condition. In fact, some of the 2005 pennies with minting errors have sold at auction for anywhere from $50 to over $100, depending on the rarity and demand at the time. It's not unheard of for well-preserved or unique versions of this penny to turn up at major auctions, attracting attention from serious coin collectors. Let's take a look at some real examples. A 2005 penny with a D mint mark but struck without the mint mark, the so-called no-D error, has been known to sell for as much as $200 or more at auction, depending on its condition. Another example of a pristine 2005 proof penny with its sharp details and flawless shine could be worth anywhere from $50 to $150 or more if it's properly certified by a professional grading service. As you can see, The 2005 Abraham Lincoln penny could be a valuable piece of history just waiting to be discovered. Whether it's a rare minting error, a proof version, or simply a well-preserved coin, there's a chance you could stumble upon one in your pocket change. And who knows, you might even get lucky and find one that's worth more than you expect. If you have a collection of old pennies or even just a jar of loose change, it's worth taking the time to go through them. Who knows what hidden treasures you might find. Now, before you leave, take a quick look at your change and check those pennies from 2005. Don't forget to look for those key mint marks and any possible errors. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more exciting information on rare coins, valuable pennies, and everything you need to know about coin collecting. Stay tuned for more videos and good luck hunting for your next treasure. Welcome everyone. Today, we are diving into an exciting piece of American history, something that might be sitting right under your nose. Have you ever thought about the coins in your pocket? Well, if you're like most people, you probably haven't given much thought to the humble penny. But what if I told you that there's a penny out there from the year 1968 that could be worth far more than its face value? In this video, we will explore the rare and valuable 1968 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Stay with me because this is a coin you definitely want to learn about. Historical background. To understand why this particular penny is so valuable, let's first take a step back and look at its history. The Abraham Lincoln penny, often just referred to as the Lincoln cent, has been in circulation since 1909. It was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and it features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This coin has a long legacy, but the 1968 D mint mark penny is special for a few key reasons. In 1968, the United States Mint produced millions of pennies, but not all of them are equal. You see, the D mint mark on the 1968 penny indicates that it was produced in the Denver Mint. However, what sets this penny apart is the specific characteristics and the potential errors that occurred during its minting process. How to identify a genuine 1968 D mint mark penny? Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have a genuine 1968 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny? First, let's talk about the basics. The coin should be made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, which is the standard weight for a penny. But what you really want to check is the mint mark. On the reverse side of the coin, just beneath the date, you will see the letter D. This is the mint mark that signifies it was minted in Denver. Be careful when examining this penny, as counterfeits do exist. A genuine 1968 D coin should have sharp, clear details on both the obverse, the side with Lincoln's portrait, and the reverse, the side with the Lincoln Memorial. If the coin looks worn, blurry, or has missing details, it's likely not a genuine specimen. Key details of the 1968 D penny. Now let's get into some of the specific features that make the 1968 D penny unique. Weight. As mentioned earlier, this penny weighs about 3.11 grams, which is the standard weight for most pennies made after 1856. Material. The 1968 D penny is primarily made of copper, which gives it its distinctive reddish-brown color. This is important because before 1982, pennies were mostly copper. After 1982, the U.S. Mint started producing pennies with a higher percentage of zinc. Mint mark. The most distinguishing feature of this penny is the D mint mark, located just below the date on the reverse side of the coin. This shows it was minted at the Denver Mint, but there's another important thing to look out for: minting errors. Some of the 1968 D pennies were produced with flaws, particularly doubled die errors where the image of Lincoln's portrait or the lettering is doubled. These errors can greatly increase the value of a penny. Why this coin is rare or valuable? So, why is the 1968 D penny valuable? The rarity and value stem from a couple of factors. First, even though millions of these pennies were minted, many of them were either spent or lost over time, leaving fewer high-quality examples behind. And remember, some of these coins also have minting errors that make them even more unique. Another reason this coin is valuable is due to its copper content. While copper prices fluctuate, the material itself is worth more than just the face value of the penny. Coins that are older and made of copper, like the 1968 D penny, are particularly sought after by collectors who focus on precious metals. Current market value. Let's talk numbers. The value of a 1968 D penny depends on its condition. A worn penny, one that has circulated and seen a lot of use, is not going to be worth much more than its face value, or maybe a few cents more. However, if you have an uncirculated 1968 penny, meaning it's in mint condition and shows no signs of wear, it could be worth much more. Uncirculated examples of this penny have sold for anywhere between $2 to $10 depending on the condition and the market demand at the time. Now, if you happen to find one with a double die error or another minting flaw, that could significantly increase its value. Some of these error coins have sold for hundreds of dollars at auctions. A high-grade, error-free example can fetch between $30 to $100 or more. To give you a real-world example, a 1968 penny with a double die error was sold at an auction for $700. Yes, that's right, a simple penny from 1968 worth only 1 cent originally sold for $700 due to its unique minting flaw. Conclusion: so, can you get rich or lucky by finding a 1968 penny? Absolutely. While it's not likely you'll find a coin worth hundreds of dollars in your pocket, it's still worth checking the pennies you come across. You might just be holding onto a rare find without even realizing it. If you have any old pennies sitting around, take a moment to inspect them. Check the mint mark, look for any unusual errors, and you could be sitting on a gold mine, or at least a valuable piece of history. Call to action: don't forget to check your change and keep your eyes peeled for these rare and valuable coins. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, valuable coins, and how to start collecting, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got more tips and information coming your way, so stay tuned. Happy coin hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. Have you ever wondered if the pennies in your pocket could be worth more than just 1 cent? What if I told you that one particular penny, a 2014 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, could be worth a small fortune? This rare coin has captured the attention of collectors, and today we're going to dive deep into its story. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for when you check your spare change, and who knows, you might just find something valuable. Historical background before we talk about the rarity and value of the 2014 Lincoln cent. Let's take a moment to understand its history. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909, has gone through several changes over the years. Most of us are familiar with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, but did you know that there are subtle differences in the coins depending on the year and minting process? The 2014 Lincoln penny is no exception. But what makes it particularly interesting is the absence of a mint mark. Normally, the U.S. Mint places a mint mark on coins to indicate where they were produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. However, in 2014, something unusual happened. Pennies that were produced in Philadelphia that year were made without the typical P mint mark. This led to confusion and intrigue among collectors, as it was the first time since 1815 that a U.S. coin didn't have any mint mark at all. The reason for this is believed to be part of a shift in how the mint was handling its coin production. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if you have a genuine 2014 Lincoln cent without a mint mark? It's quite simple, but there are some key things you should check. First, flip the coin over and look closely at the reverse, the side with the Lincoln Memorial or the shield, depending on the design. A 2014 penny without a mint mark will have no P, D, or S stamped on it. Another way to verify the coin is by examining the design. The 2014 Lincoln cent still carries the traditional image of President Abraham Lincoln's face on the obverse, and the reverse features either the Lincoln Memorial or the Union Shield. These details are important because counterfeit versions may not match the exact design or weight of a genuine 2014 penny. Let's break down some important details that can help you identify and understand this coin better. Weight. The 2014 Lincoln penny weighs exactly 2.5 grams, which is the standard weight for modern pennies. Material: it is made of copper-plated zinc, meaning the core is primarily zinc, coated in a thin layer of copper. Diameter: the penny measures 19 millimeters across, which is standard for the U.S. 1 cent coin. Mint mark: as we've discussed, the 2014 penny you're looking for should have no mint mark on the reverse side. This is what makes it particularly valuable. While these are all the standard features, it's also important to note that there can sometimes be errors or variations in the coins, which can significantly increase their value. The rarity of the 2014 no mint mark penny lies in the fact that it is a historical anomaly. Coins without mint marks are rare, and collectors are always on the lookout for such oddities. The fact that it was the first time since 1815 that a penny was minted in Philadelphia without a mint mark makes it an intriguing piece for coin collectors. Additionally, because of its rarity, this penny has become a desirable item for both novice and experienced collectors alike. As more time passes and fewer people hold onto these coins, their value will likely continue to increase. So, how much is this penny worth? Well, the value of a 2014 Lincoln cent without a mint mark depends on its condition. Let's take a look at some of the typical categories. Worn or circulated condition. If your coin has been through circulation and shows wear, it will likely only be worth a small premium above face value. You might be able to sell it for about $2 to $5. Uncirculated condition. If the coin is in excellent condition, showing no signs of wear or damage, its value increases significantly. Uncirculated examples can fetch anywhere between $10 to $50 depending on their quality. Certified coins, coins that have been professionally graded by a service like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC), can reach even higher values, especially if they are graded as mint state or proof-like. These could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. To give you an idea of what this coin can go for, let's take a look at some recent auction results. In 2017, a 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in near-mint condition sold for over $100 at a reputable auction house. Another coin, graded as MS-67, went for more than $300 at a collector's auction. These prices show how much demand there is for this rare coin and how its value can increase as more collectors vie for it. In conclusion, the 2014 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is an incredibly rare and valuable coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, it's worth taking the time to go through your spare change and look for one of these hidden gems. If you find one in uncirculated or mint condition, you could potentially make a nice profit from its sale. Remember, coin collecting is as much about the thrill of discovery as it is about the financial rewards. You never know, that penny you're holding could be worth a lot more than you think. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and how to start collecting, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Check your change for that 2014 no mint mark penny. You might just have a little treasure in your pocket. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.